Hey, so good morning, everyone. Appreciate you being here today. I'm with James Boyer of Boyer Web Studios. Welcome, James.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. So where in the world are you right now? I know we'll talk about this a little bit more, but you're traveling all over right now.
Yeah, so right now I am in Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, which is right on the border of Virginia and Kentucky. Right below, actually a mile, 1.2 miles away from the Tri-State Peak here, which is the three-way intersection of the three states.
Oh, very cool. I bet it's beautiful there.
It is all beautiful green trees everywhere.
Awesome. Have you been getting out some?
Yeah, we've gone, we did a float down the river, been out to a couple lakes. We just bought a canoe in Florida, so
Wow.
getting our money's worth on that.
Well, I'm jealous already. So, yeah, congratulations. That's great. Hey, so I know a little bit about your history, your background, but why would you share a little bit about that for folks who don't know you? You're founder, you're with Boyer Web Studio. And one of the things that fascinates me about that is that you're a family business. I mean, really a big family business, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So it was probably about 8 years ago, before I'd even graduated college. I launched Boyer Web Studios, and as a co-founder and co-owner, I've been building it for the past few years. We do full website design and development, very custom. We have strong emphasis on communication, quality work, good back and forth. We really want to make what you want. But I mean, more of the story behind that. I grew up homeschooled with all th- all two of my brothers, all three of us together, and we just built a good relationship with my family, with my parents. And after graduating, all of us really wanted to just build something together. My older brother is just a genius on the computer, and he's been doing our design and our development for a while now. We have built up several contractors now, so a little bit less work on him, which is great.
That's good.
But yeah, just working together as a family business has really been our dream for a long time.
That's fabulous. It's unusual. It's not an opportunity that most families have. So that's
Hmm.
really cool.
Yeah, I'm so blessed, really, to be able to do this.
Absolutely. Hey, so would you talk a little bit about all the services that you provide? And one of the things I'm interested in, I know a lot of web folks, a lot of web developers, and you're maybe one of just a couple I know who don't use WordPress.
Hmm.
That's really something interesting and unique about you. So tell me about that. Why have you gone that direction?
Yeah, so I usually will put it odds as custom versus templated. It's WordPress, Squarespace, Wix, all those templated sites. With custom, you're building from nothing. You're building it from scratch, and so you have unlimited possibilities. Not only on design, you can make it look exactly like you want it to look, but on the functionality. What you actually need for your business, if it's a blog, login systems, we can build that specifically for your business and your site. When you're working with templates, it's usually a cheaper development process because you're starting with these blocks that you can build with. Where it gets more difficult with the templating is to get it to what you want your site to look like, so it's optimized and customized for your site. Instead of building out these blocks, you're trying to pull them apart and remove the pieces that you don't want to have on the site, and that causes issues with other parts of it. It works very well for a lot of businesses, but we really wanted to be able to come in and do much more of a full custom, completely optimized, so that we can really build exactly what people want for these sites. And we generally work with a little larger ticket items, rather than just a brand site or personal brand online business card. We can do those, and we have, and they go very well. But really what we're optimized for in our development process is something larger. We've built out some city sites, the city of Knob Noster, which is perfect for our craft CMS base. We've been doing some proposals here and there for larger schools and cities and governments like that. But specifically, e-commerce is something that we've really been working on right now, and we use Shopify for that. We just launched the Family Nest Printing. They're a family-owned printing company who were also homeschooled. It was great to work with them.
That's great.
But yeah, and just optimize that together with their custom print orders so that they don't have to go through and change up stuff. They just get exactly what they need from Shopify and they can go and print it.
Fantastic. So besides the web development and build out, what else, what other services do you incorporate with that? SEO and some other services?
Yeah, so we offer technical SEO, and how we differentiate that from ongoing SEO is we optimize the site from the ground up to be easily read by the search engines. We can put your keywords into the headings and different areas that are more likely to be used by Google, but we're not offering that continual, every month we're analyzing your data and adding improvements, backlinking. We have vendors we can offer that through that do some very good work, especially with backlinking. But that's the technical SEO that we offer. We also do graphic design and business development consulting, marketing consulting. And a lot of that really just came from a need. We got either people coming from corporate America that wanted to transition into starting their own company, and they needed a whole brand, needed to know what they really, how to target people, who's best fit for their market. And so that was something that I've read up on myself, and so I was able to help walk them through all those steps. So eventually we just added those in as services that we offer.
Yeah, fantastic. I saw, I see that you have a degree in international business, which is pretty fascinating. So a couple of questions. One, what prompted you to pursue that avenue in the first place? How has that come into play in your current business? And it sounds like that's part of what this business development offering that you folks have at this point draws from.
Yeah, so the international business is very much just like a general business degree with a lot more emphasis on culture, comparative culture. And there's, a lot more, the joke in the classes at least is every class international business you take, you're going to be looking at marketing blunders, something that didn't translate right into another culture, something that just didn't work with that culture, or there was no point in really offering it to these people because it just doesn't fit with that society. It goes more in depth into international trade, tariffs and regulations and all that. And really, there were two things that interested me enough to change my major over to international business. And first off was I love traveling. I've always enjoyed traveling, and I've just been obsessed with learning about other cultures and experiencing things that are different from what I experience. And that gave me not only the opportunity to study abroad, I went to Taiwan for international business and trade, study abroad, and that was a wonderful experience. Learning about international trade from the perspective of Taiwan, which is a unique perspective because they're so closely tied politically to the US, but they're physically so close to China. But yeah, so international business, it was really just allowed me to travel more, and it gave me more of the information that I really wanted to look at globalization and the idea of a virtual business, or a business that we can run from anywhere without being tied down to a physical location.
And I'm curious, I know we talked about the fact that you're in Tennessee right now. You and I talked a couple of days ago, and you are right now kind of traveling here and there around the country. And I'm curious, is this something that you were doing prior to COVID and the lockdown, or was that part of your adjustment to that? And if you'd speak a little bit about that process, the fact that you're out traveling from state to state, area to area, and yet fully carrying on your business.
Yeah. So it was something from when we started this business, we knew we wanted to be able to do. But really in the building of the business and the setup, especially with how, as a family business, we're very much branded towards KC local. And that's where the majority of our clients come from. And so I did a lot of the on the ground networking, meeting with people. I did a lot of the front facing parts of running the business. Aside from taking some trips here and there, which I was able to do because I could kind of just keep up on my work. We didn't really do too much long-term traveling until COVID hit, and we had transitioned already entirely to virtual, meeting people virtually and all that. I started thinking like, why I can work virtually from here, from a beach house, from the mountains. As long as I have Wi-Fi, it'll be the same. I'll be able to be as productive as I am here. So why not? Why not just go and travel?
Fantastic. Have you started to see some opportunities beyond the local Kansas City area in terms of clientele?
Yeah, absolutely. I have some good friends actually that I met at that international, the study abroad to Taiwan. And one of them is in Sweden right now and has done some kind of publicizing work for us, just getting our name out there a little bit. We have had clients and we have a client right now in Canada. And we've had proposals or RFPs from other locations. And really, we can work with anyone, anywhere right now, but to start that targeted sales or marketing to an international audience, we're waiting until we've gotten a little bit more development capacity.
Cool, cool, very good. Hey, I'm curious, James, what with your business background, your online presence, your web development expertise, what advice do you have for folks who have maybe been impacted more so than you have, who've had to step back home? They've relied heavily on in-person networking to referral business to gain new business. What advice do you have for folks now in terms of online presence, best practice, practices, that sort of thing?
Yeah, well, number one, I'd say having a website is essential. People will spend thousands of dollars on their foyer of their business, the front door. And if you think of your website as your storefront, that's going to get so much more traffic than your foyer of your building. And so if you compare the prices of those, then you may even need to rethink if your website is only $2,000, $3,000 site. If it's templated, it's just making you work to make it do what you want it to do. The easier you can make that on yourself, the better it will be in the long run. Also, there are so many digital virtual networking options. The ACA virtual membership, which I just joined, has been very, very good. I'm seeing 3 or 4 plus networking events that I can attend virtually every week. And that's plenty really to kind of keep a presence with these people and continue to do what you can to help them, introduce, share your audience, your network with people, and just keep going, moving forward in relationships with people.
Yeah, fantastic. I found that as well. It's interesting. I was kind of confused the first week or 10 days of staying at home. I really didn't know what to do. But now I in some ways have found this to be an advantage. I've met a lot of folks I never would have come in contact with in person. So I've expanded my network, and that's been a real plus for me.
Yeah, and it really kind of helps show you, especially as an entrepreneur, what limitations you actually have. And it shows that there aren't a lot of the limitations that you put on yourself. And that you can be creative and create entirely new ways of doing business. And it'll be all right. You can do that, test and learn, try it. If it works, try it more.
Yeah, fantastic, absolutely. Hey, finally, I just want to say, I understand you got engaged this week, is that right?
Yeah, I did. She said yes.
Oh, way to go, man. Congratulations. That's good. So what are the plans? Have you set a date, or what are you looking at?
We haven't set a date yet. We've been thinking about doing a winter wedding,
Awesome.
but that would be very reliant on if there's snow on the ground. And that's hard to predict. So we may do something more in the spring, summertime.
Cool. Well, anyway, congratulations.
Thank you.
You bet.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks so much. I really enjoyed visiting with you. Appreciate your sharing your insights on things.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.